Boss to his secretary. Ms. Barbara, what day is it today? Infertile, sir, infertile.
A man and his wife have to go to a doctor. The doctor asks, "Do you share the same blood group?" The husband replies, "We must by now. She's been sucking my blood for years."
Sorry about that, Joel.
I don't think so, Paul.
A man and a woman were celebrating their 50th anniversary. They were talking before their dinner about how they should celebrate their big evening. The woman decided she would cook a big dinner for her husband. Then he said they should do what they did on their wedding night and eat at the dinner table naked. The woman agreed. Later that night at the table, the woman says, "Honey, my nipples are as hot for you as they were 50 years ago." The man replies, "That's because they're sitting in your soup."
I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
The policeman asked the guy, "Why didn't you save your drowning wife?" "How was I supposed to know she was drowning? She was screaming her head off as usual."
Bro, can I give you a bite of my ice cream?
Scientists have discovered a dish that reduces women's sexual drive by 90%. It's called wedding cake.
Don't make me check.
What is a vacation? A vacation is those days in a year when you stop doing what the boss tells you to do and start doing what the wife tells you to do.
Wife says to the husband, "Everything reminds you about sex." Not true. You don't.
Ahmed is walking, and his wife is in front of him. "Hey, Ahmed, Allah didn't teach us that way. The Quran says that a wife must walk behind her husband. When they wrote the Quran, there were no landmines. Forward, Fatima, forward."
If a child doesn't eat meat, what can it be replaced with? With a dog? Every dog eats meat.
Do you remember those adorable quirks that used to excite you both at the beginning of your relationship? After 20 years of marriage, the police call them motive.
Oh, God. Husband to wife. Week by week, your figure is becoming more perfect. Do you really think so? Yes, you are increasingly resembling a sphere to me.
Why did you bottle that up, Dennis?
In the sandbox. Can you tell your son not to pretend to be me, please? Johnny, stop acting like an idiot. Yeah. Right?
Even though he was born into a Catholic family, Klaus always wanted to be Jewish. When he was a senior in college, he decided to take up the teachings and undergo conversion to Judaism. He studied Judaism for an entire semester and was finally ready to take the appropriate test to convert to Jew. On the agreed day, he arrived at the rabbi's residence ready for the test. The rabbi greeted him, but at the entrance announced, "Before we begin, you must make a payment. Conversion costs $5,000, and that's what you have to pay me." $5,000? Klaus shouted. "That's a lot of money. I can give you $500. "Congratulations, you passed," the rabbi replied.
On Christmas morning, a cop on horseback sits at a traffic light next to a kid on a shiny new bike. The cop says to the kid, "Nice bike you got there. Did Santa bring that to you?" The kid says, "Yeah." The cop says, "Well, next year, tell Santa to put a taillight on that bike." The cop then issues the kid a $20 bicycle violation ticket. The kid takes the ticket and says, "By the way, that's a nice horse you got there. Did Santa bring that to you?" Humoring the kid, the cop says, "Yeah, he sure did." The kid says, "Well, next year tell Santa to put the dick underneath the horse instead of on top."
What's the difference between a penis and a bonus? Your wife will always blow your bonus.
Grilling Ted and his wife were working in their garden one day when Ted looks over at his wife and says, "Your butt is getting really big. I mean really big. I bet your butt is bigger than the barbecue." With that, he proceeded to get a measuring tape and measure the grill, and then went over to where his wife was working and measured his wife's bottom. Yes, I was right. Your butt is 2 inches wider than the barbecue. The wife chose to ignore her husband. Later that night in bed, Ted is feeling a little frisky. He makes some advances towards his wife, who completely brushes him off. "What's wrong?" he asks. She answers, "Do you really think I'm going to fire up this big-ass grill for one little weenie?"
My girlfriend dressed up as a policewoman and told me I was under arrest on suspicion of being good in bed. After 2 minutes, all charges were dropped due to a lack of evidence.
Women can be wonderfully satisfied with only 3.5 inches, no matter if it's a MasterCard or a Visa.
Son asks his father, "Dad, can I go bungee jumping?" "No, son. Your life began with a broken rubber, and I don't want it to end the same way." God.
A pious man who regularly attended church always gave $10 to a beggar. One day, he gave him only $5. The beggar asked, "What happened? Why only 5? Did you lose your job?" "No, I sent my son to college." "Well, that's nice, but why at my expense?"
Two friends are talking. I've read so much bad stuff about alcohol that I finally told myself it's time to quit once and for all. Quit drinking? No, quit reading.
Husband and wife are watching a movie titled The Perfect Murder. At one point, the wife says she's starting to get scared. "Is it the movie?" the husband asks. "No, just stop taking notes."
A man takes his cat a street away from home. He comes back, and the cat is sitting on the couch. He takes it 5 kilometers further. He comes back home, and the cat is sitting on the couch. Finally, he takes it far out of the city. After some time, he calls his wife. "Is the cat at home?" "Yes." "Give him the phone because I'm lost."
Jason just had a nervous breakdown.
Please note that this video is fake.
Heaven's become a little crowded. So, starting noon the next day, God makes a new rule. In order to get into heaven, you've had to have had a really bad day before you died. So, noon rolls around. An angel is posted at the gates. Not 5 seconds after noon, and the first spirit arrives. The guard says, "How was your day?" The spirit replies, "Oh, you wouldn't believe it. So I come home from work to my apartment. I live on the 6th floor. When I go inside, I see my wife half naked. Suspecting she's had an affair, I start running around the room, throwing furniture everywhere, looking for the guy. After finally giving up, I manage to glance at the balcony and see the guy hanging from his fingertips. The nerve of him. In rage, I begin stomping on them. He falls. But I notice he didn't die. I frantically look around for something to throw, and odd enough as it is, the first thing I see is the fridge. I toss it over the rail, and it lands on him. I started laughing so hard, and I died. Just like that. The angel laughs to himself. All right, I guess that was a pretty bad day. You can go in. Soon after he finishes, the second spirit wanders up. The angel again asks, "How was your day before you died?" "Oh my God, horrible, just horrible. I was working out in my apartment on the 7th floor when I lose my balance and fall off the balcony. Luckily enough, I was able to grab onto the guy's balcony below me. But as I was enjoying my relief, some guy comes up and starts stomping on my fingers. I fell, but the tree slowed me down enough to survive. So I'm laying on the ground in excruciating pain when the crazy guy comes and throws a fridge on top of me. I died instantly." The angel burst out laughing. "I think I'm going to like this job." "All right, that was a really bad day. Go on in." Then the third appears just as the second goes in the gates. "How was your day before you died?" "Okay, picture this. I'm naked in a fridge."
You're at a party with friends and want to tell a great joke but can't remember any? Visit myjokes.app. We sift through tons of lousy jokes to find only the exceptionally good ones.